actually everyone. There isn't anyone at this time. Just gonna open up the editor before I say anything. Okay, so a few things I want to let you know is I went ahead and took some of the BSPs and made them static meshes using 3ds Max to be able to add smoothing groups, especially to the round parts like this tube right there, and also into the main menu. I've made this a static mesh. Well, actually everything but both ends or static mesh. So these are still BSPs, so that I can put several of these one after the other, and you know. So I just noticed, first thing I should have done is, ouch, -1. Because I'm actually gonna expand it. Yeah, I'm actually gonna expand it this way. So that'll be more convenient like that. And so, okay, today's stream, I know there's only one person watching this. Not anymore. But anyway, it's gonna get recorded, so it'll be into the playlist. So first time I actually do this, I used the quality time of my insomnia to write down that sheet. This is basically a planning of what I want to do during this video. So first of all, let's open up the default map, which is our test map for all these new functionalities. And into content. Yeah, okay, so the first thing we're gonna need to do is a waypoint actor that we can place on the map and tell our little bot to you know, follow the trail made from these waypoints. So create a new blueprint from actor, and it'll be waypoint blueprint. So first of all, we'll need a static mesh. That'll be our root. The only static mesh I see fit would be this cube. Now can we change the materials? Yes. Let's put danger. And we should make that static mesh only visible within the editor. So visible and hidden in game. Let's just place one to be sure. So it is visible in the editor, not in game, but it has collisions, and we do not want this. So to collisions, no collisions, okay. And we could actually, just to make things a little more obvious, add a text component above this waypoint. Get it centered, make it bigger, and this text should be waypoint. Just so it's a little more obvious into the world, and that's very much the only thing we have to do onto the waypoint blueprint, I believe. Place them on the map. Yeah, that was all. So I'm just gonna place a few of them on the map. Let's say 3 of them, because we're gonna need these. We're gonna need these to test the bot. So next thing we need is the enemy. So how we're gonna actually make the enemy so that it's obvious that it's an enemy is we're gonna open up the ball mesh that we've created, and we're gonna add some really evil looking spike onto it so that it's really obvious that it's an enemy. Currently opening. Come on, you can do it. Okay, there it is. And so we're actually gonna scale it down a little bit. Now we need to keep that bone, except we're gonna remove. Now the radius should be, I guess, 150. And then we're gonna select all of the polygons. And we're gonna hit bevel. Now instead of group, we're gonna choose local normal. Or actually by polygon. Whoa. There it is. Now the top polygons didn't quite like that, so I think I'm gonna avoid selecting the top polygons. That should do it. So actually, you know what, I'm gonna inset them first. Like this, and then I'm gonna extrude them. Really simple. No, if I do that, I'm gonna have to make them into points one by one, and I really don't want that. Yeah, so that doesn't really look good on the top, right? I actually was thinking it would be better looking than this. And what I might actually end up only giving it a mohawk or something. Oh, that looks mean. And we're even gonna make them longer. Now that looks like an evil thing I wouldn't want to cross path with. We're just gonna flip it to its side. Something like this. Yep, okay. And we're gonna skin it back onto its bone. So that'll be the root bone, select, and this is it. So save as ball enemy. Save and then export it into SM static mesh ball enemy. Hit OK. Okay, good. So we're gonna need that. We're gonna need to create a folder for it too. I just don't quite know what kind of architecture I would want. So we're gonna use the same skeleton just so that we don't recreate another skeleton. And hit import. Yep, now this thing looks really, really mean. So that's perfect. So that's our mesh. That'll be our physic acid. That looks perfect. So if we just add it to the world, see how big it is? It's about as big as the player. Yep. Maybe just a tiny bit smaller. That's fine. Actually, let me just double check something. I think there was a way to make a sphere out of a cube. Just want to double check that. So let's make that 10, 10, 10, and apply modifier. Now I believe there was a spherify. Okay. Now that leaves us with a lot of square polygons. That looks pretty good. Okay, and if we just hit collapse 2, it stays like that. Awesome. Really awesome. So now this one, I might actually be able to put spikes all the way around it instead of creating a mohawk. So if I just move this one away a little bit and make this one bigger, then can I select polygons, all of them, and set them that looks about right. And if I hit the bevel, then by polygon, I say that looks pretty much like what I wanted. But not quite at the same time. But it doesn't look like a ball anymore. Perhaps the beveling was not the beveling, the insetting was a bad idea. You know what? That's gonna be good enough for me. At least it is still a sphere. Or at least it still looks like a sphere. Okay, so 0, 0, 0. We'll skin this one instead. And so that looks pretty much like it, I would say. Oh, nope, it didn't skin. Root bone. Now why are you not skinning onto it? Okay. Whew. Now it is skinned. So I'm gonna re-export this enemy ball and re-import it as well. Awesome. Let's make sure we didn't break the physic asset. And it seemed like we didn't. Great. Let's save all of that. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, that purple thing there is a trampoline I've created. Oh, I didn't get there. And it's meant to allow you to reach super far distances. Like this. Almost made it. Yeah, so this is what our enemy ball is gonna look like. So you must not touch them. And now we're gonna make him move. So actually I'm gonna go into the environment, add new folder, and traps. Excellent. So enemy ball is gonna go into the traps. Cool. And then new blueprint from the actor. We're gonna name it enemy ball the default route. That'll be our enemy ball. Super. Then we wanted to simulate physics, have gravity enabled. We also wanted to simulate generate hit events. Physics asset override should be enemy. Well, the physics asset for this skeletal mesh actually. And we're just gonna place that into the map. I'm gonna test my work as I go pretty often, make sure I don't do anything stupid. See, like this. Ball isn't simulating physics because it more than likely doesn't have any collisions set into the blueprint. Voila. So that should be a physics actor. Use continuous collision detection. And now it is working. Excellent. Okay. Now let's make it follow a path. So to do that, we'll need a new array of actors. Actor reference, an array, and we're just gonna name that waypoint array, or actually list. Okay, oh, that's cool. We're gonna make it editable and expose it onto the spawn. Now, if all is well, I can add a few elements and pick the waypoints. Yeah, that's awesome. So I can pick the waypoints onto the map to let the blueprint know which waypoint on the map it should follow and in which order it should reach them. So on the event begin play, we're gonna grab the first of them. Now get 0 and enemy create variable area. Pick waypoint, that's done. Get next waypoint world location. Okay, so get world location. I can't actually do that. No, why? Oh, get actor location. That's right, get actor location. Good. Now what I need to do is get my own location. So get actor location self and then find look at rotation. Awesome. Now that rotation I should be able to get the right vector. Vector. Awesome. And this is actually the vector we're gonna add angular impulse onto. So what we should be doing is multiply that vector by the speed we want, just like we did it for the player. I'm actually gonna open the player pawn as a reference. So the way we did it was we got the right vector and multiplied it by movement velocity, which was 50. Okay, and at begin play we've also set a maximum angular velocity at 700 and a damping. So we're gonna do that onto this one as well, except mesh doesn't exist. So we're gonna get our skeletal mesh. So max angle velocity, I believe we should make this a little faster than the player, so that later on when we make these enemies chase the player, they can actually catch up on the player. And so I think we're gonna need a new variable, which is gonna be not an array. It's gonna be an integer, and we're gonna name it current target. Current target, and we're gonna plug that into the getter like that. And so we're gonna multiply that by let's say 50 again. So to do that, we'll need a new float variable. That'll be movement velocity, and we're gonna make it editable and expose it on spawn. Make the default value 50 and plug it in there. And now this should be done onto the event thick. Alright. So I'm just gonna move that ball away from the first waypoint, and it is not adding any angular velocity for some reason. Max angular velocity 800. Oh, velocity change. Did I check that onto the... Yes, I did check that. Okay. So that's why it wasn't moving. Yeah, now it's moving toward the waypoint. See, as soon as it goes too far, it actually changes direction. Now the ground is really slippy. You can see I'm actually overspinning myself, but if I put the yellow material, the concrete material, you'll notice it isn't slipping anymore, and it is really accurate. So don't worry, when you actually put that butt onto the same ground material as the player is gonna roll onto, it'll be really accurate. Ah, jeez. And so now we need to know, oops, we don't need the pond anymore. Now the only thing left that we have to do would be to detect whenever we are close enough to this. And so let's say we do a branch. Now get world location. Can I actually equal? I would have like nearly. I guess it's only available for the floats, and so math vector. Oh, I can actually get the distance and make sure that distance is smaller. Okay. No, okay. So let's say the rotation, the location minus the location of the other one. If they're both identical, it'll give 0, right? And so vector length like so. Now this is the distance between the butt and the waypoint that is the current target. So if that is nearly equal to 0, and then error tolerance. So we're gonna add a new variable, a new float. We're gonna make it movement accuracy, like this. Make it editable, expose it on spawn, and make it, let's say, 100, which is gonna be 1 meter. Movement accuracy, and we're gonna put that into the error tolerance. So now if that is true, you get the current target, and actually hold down shift to get, oh, it wasn't shift, anyway. So you set current target to current target plus 1. And if it's false, you don't do anything. And so this is how the bot is gonna move on to the next waypoint after he's reached the first one. Now you could use the increment instead of set plus 1. Increment int, but I don't know, I like the plus 1 thing. So let's make sure that this is working before we do anything else. It is not. Oh, Jesus. I've clicked on the wrong thing again. Actually, we don't need 3ds Max anymore. Good. Probably the accuracy movement, the value needs to be bigger than that because it's moving really fast. Yeah, now that worked. And now the ball is following all of our waypoints. And then it reaches the end of the array. And so it sets 0 coordinates as its next target. So we need to fix that. We need to actually make it go back. Now it's giving me an error. Yeah, exactly. Accessed none from array. That's because I was at the last value of the array. So I guess we're gonna need another Boolean value. And we're gonna name it is going up. We're not gonna expose it on spawn. We're gonna make it true by default. And we're gonna add one more branch in here. So is going up. And last index. Last index is bigger. So actually it's going up. We'll put it through. So if we want to go up, we check if we're onto the last index of the array. If that is true, we're on the last of the array. We're gonna set is going up to false, so that it takes this route down there instead of going up. and we're actually gonna decrement the integer value. So if it's false, we raise it. Okay, so now we need another branch onto the false here, and it'll be the exact opposite. Nope, we actually need current target to be bigger than 0. If it's bigger, actually bigger or equal bigger than -1. Alright, so that includes 0. So if it's not bigger than -1, meaning we're at 0 and we just reached 0, then we need to go up again. And if we're not, then we're actually gonna subtract 1 from our current value. So that'll be integer -1. Okay, so all of this should make our little bot follow the waypoints back and forth. And it doesn't, okay? So it reaches there. That is true. Then is going up is set to true. Then the last index of this array should be somewhere like 5. 5 is bigger than 0. So that is true. Okay, I reversed this, I believe. So, okay, now it's following the waypoints and it's going back. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so we only have one problem left. It's going down here. It should be bigger than 0, not bigger than -1. So if it's bigger than 0, it'll decrement once more, which will put it back to 0. Then when it reaches 0, it'll go back up again. So yeah, we now have a bot that is gonna follow any waypoints you tell it to follow, basically. So that's fantastic, really. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, now how long is this stream already? 39 minutes. Well, we're almost done, so add angular and pulse, that's done. Clamp it, it's done. Okay, now all we need to do is set a tag onto this actor. We'll call it die, because we're gonna use that tag to let the player know. And so mesh event hit on component hit should do it. So the other actor get tags, and if it contains the tag die, that means we've just hit an actor that has this tag. Which one of these actor, well, the only actor for now which have this tag is our ball. And so we're gonna put that right in there. So we're gonna execute the exact same actions as if the player had fell off the map. So let me just throw myself down there, and I'll try to hit that ball. There, okay. Now the hit event didn't fire up, so this could be for two reasons. Generate hit events, yes, and we need to make sure that's activated onto our enemy as well. Enemy ball, skeletal mesh, generation simulate hits event. Okay. Now why is it not working? Oh. We're actually gonna give that a try. Come on, hit me, hit me. Ah, jeez, I missed it. Nope, nope, nope. It didn't tell me hello, so the hit event isn't firing at all. Now why is that? We're gonna set it to custom query and physic, and all of this is true. On component hit, it just never fires off. Actually, we're gonna set up the true as well. Make sure it isn't a problem. Nope. Hit event just don't trigger at all. I really don't understand. And we forgot to do that. Event hit. Okay, so such thing exists. Event hit. Now what if I plug that in the actor reference? Okay. What if I do this? Is it gonna work? Nope. How about you? Are you actually gonna give me a little hello? No, you don't. It looks as if the hit event isn't working at all. I guess I should do that onto the big and play. Yes, and print. I'll just try different methods of detecting the hits until one of them work. And this one still doesn't. Because I'm currently hitting the ground and it doesn't do anything. I must be forgetting something. How about I do that? Now I know both of these actually have collisions. They can collide with each other. But the hit event just don't trigger for some reason. I'm just gonna pause the stream there because this may take a little while. So okay. Is it actually gonna come back eventually, or? Okay, I'm live again. So I've looked up on the internet, and it looks like it's a physic asset thingy. See, simulation generate hit event. Now this box have to be checked onto the physic asset as well as into the blueprint. So this is probably the reason why that wasn't doing anything. I had no idea actually. And so, hello, voila. Now the hit event is firing as intended. So I don't care about the enemy. I don't want the enemy to detect the hit event. I want the player to detect it. So other actor has typed die. If it's true, we do that. If it's false, we just say hello. Actually, no, we're not gonna say hello because it's just gonna say hello all the time. Boom! You failed miserably. Retry. And so if I dodge it, I should be okay. Alright, so what are these errors? So they're onto the execute upper graph bound event. So that branch, okay, we're gonna, is valid. It was the other one. So if it's valid, we're gonna do that. If it's not valid, we're not gonna do anything. Actually, break branch. So if there is no hit at all, we're actually not gonna do anything thanks to this. And we should get rid of the error using that. Yep, no more errors. That is excellent. Okay. So this is it. I think I've checked everything on my little sheet right there. So to wrap this up, we now have a enemy bot that we can place onto the map. We can change its movement velocity and the accuracy as well. Then we have a waypoint list that we can select all of the waypoints we want this bot to follow and, you know, put them in the right order. And as soon as the player collides with this bot, he dies. And so that's everything I wanted to do in this episode. And the stream has been 53 minutes long, so yeah, that's plenty long enough. So I'm gonna stop it there. Well, thanks for watching. And even though there wasn't anyone watching it live, thanks anyway for those who are watching it now. And thanks also for almost 400 subscribers. That's very much appreciated. And the next video number 8, I believe, is going to be about moving platforms, so that some part of the ground the player has to move onto is going to move, and really any obstacle as well. So moving boxes to block the player's way to prevent it from jumping from one platform to another, and stuff like this. And we're actually going to use the pretty much the same principle as we just used for the bot, except these obstacles aren't going to kill the player. He's going to be able to use them to move through the level. And so that was it for this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.